Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Good Saturday morning, everyone. Ready for the final segment of the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor programming with the Outdoors with Larry Ray show. Everything that you'd want to know about the great outdoors you can find out here on the Outdoors with Larry Ray show. And so once again, without further ado, the one and only, the oracle of the outdoors, Larry Ray.
Oh, Frank Barton,
That's awesome.
Isn't that good? Doesn't he need to do that full
That's
time?
awesome.
He needs to go around to all the radio stations and apply because he doesn't have anything to do right now.
No, he doesn't need to do that.
No, he's good. Frank Barton, thank you, buddy, as a co-host on the third Saturday of each month. I wish you were in the studio here, but due to COVID-19 regulations, Shelby McCall, the show producer, and myself are in studio. Frank, it's his turn, and we've actually let him do two of those today. He's so good at it that we might just tape those, Shelby, and just use them all the time. Even when Frank's not here, we could just use that, because it's the only time he get an applause for the lead-in. But Ron Wall's with us also. Ron's at Paris Landing for the American Coppertail Tournament that's going on today, the final of today, and we hope to have the champs on next week's show. And Ron wants to listen in as Frank wants to listen in because both of us are, all of us are proud of this next gentleman that's coming on. I think we were all there when it started. His dream started. It seems like yesterday, but it's more than 20 years ago, and that's how old I am. But anytime we have a chance to talk to Mark Rose, we want to talk to him because particularly after he became famous on Facebook and everything else by taking a swim down in South Florida, when I talked to him about being on the show, he said, you want to talk about the jumping. And I kind of he-hawed around about it, but he caught a 9-pound, 2-ounce bass, and he won a bunch
of. He won a lot of money.
He won a lot of money, but he mostly wanted to talk about taking a swim. So let's talk to Mark Rose. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Larry. How you guys doing?
Oh man, well we want to know what happened on this thing because the video is going nuts. Explain this situation. You're down there. All fish over 3 pounds are keepers. That's the minimum weight. We can talk about that, too, when it gets down to that final day. And you knew you had one on line. It was in the grass. And then what made you decide to get a closer view of that fish?
Well, I had already caught a 9-pounder in that exact location, Larry.
Okay.
And early 2, 3, 4 days before that, first day of my competition.
Okay.
And so I knew that area, and I've caught some other 4 and 5 and a 7.2 and a 7.11 in that general area.
Okay.
So I knew that area had some big fish in it. It was a little deeper grass than most of the other grass. I was out more and seemed like that's where the bigger ones were. And I wasn't catching a lot of little ones. In all of my competition days, I only caught 3 or 4 that weren't keepers. So
wow.
Even in the 3-pound category. So they were all really good ones. Well, I caught that fish. I hung that fish. It was the end of period 2, I believe.
Yes.
And I went back over just to have myself 5 minutes to fish that area. I threw out there. I got the bite. And, of course, this place is full of hydrilla. So that fish was digging me in that. And I just felt like it was a giant. I just knew it was another one of them great big ones. And I got up there closer to it. I trolled fast as I can to it. A fisherman, he can utilize all of his outdoor skills in a quick amount of time. And I'm thinking of everything, and I'm actually, you can see me on the video, I'm pulling it really hard to try to see if I can break one little stem of grass that might be keeping it.
Yeah.
Well, it is locked in there. And my boat official says, you got 1 minute. And all I can think about, it's heavy hitters. One fish that day can win you $100,000.
It can.
And so I'm thinking in the back of my mind, what if this is a $100,000 fish? I'm not thinking about TV. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm thinking about that fish and my bank account, what it could do if it was a giant. Well, I mean, I just took my camera off, my billfold out and everything, and threw it on the deck. And I thought about it for a split second. Them alligators are down there mating. So I was kind of thinking about that, and I said, that's a fish. If it was an alligator, it would have done broke my line. So I just dive in, and I follow my line down there, and I feel a slime of a fish, and I run my hand up to it, and everybody's saying that, man, you stayed down there quite a while.
Yes, you did.
It was hung in that grass, so I had to pull it out of the grass, get some grass out of the way, get my finger up in the fish's mouth and thumb it, and all that took a few seconds.
Yes.
And then I came back to the top and slid it over the gunnel, and I made it in with 15 seconds. So that's that. It only ended up being a 3.5, so we didn't get anything out of it but a bunch of TV.
You got a lot of TV. How deep?
Yeah.
How deep was the water, you think?
It was probably 7.
Okay. All right. So you're down.
When I jumped in, I could barely feel the bottom down there.
Okay. So you jump in, and you're down there wrestling the fish. I don't know what the referee thought in your
Didn't get
boat.
a hook in his finger.
Yeah. I don't know what the referee was thinking because he's saying he ain't coming up. He ain't coming up. We got him. Mark Rose is going to go under right here on TV. And
It's a boat official, Larry.
I know
boat official.
I know he is, but if the camera's going, I mean,
camera's going. There's a lot of thoughts that I thought afterwards. I thought, well, what if I would have jumped in on a trot line, or what if there had been a trammel net down there and I'd have got caught in it, and I'd have been all over CNN. Everybody, fisherman dies on Lake Toho trying to make money. So.
Well, it sounded just like you, Mark. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's. I would have thought that I didn't think anything about it. You made it wasn't, or you wouldn't have, on a scale of 10 in a diving contest, you wouldn't get very many points. I'm telling you.
No. I wasn't after points. I wasn't after nothing but $100,000.
I didn't see you cup your hands and went in there like some Olympic swimmer. You went down there, and when you threw it over the gunnel and everything like that, it was pretty spontaneous, buddy. So thank you for telling us and sharing it with us, because there's so many. I don't know how many views that thing is going to have. I've put it on my Facebook page. It's on my website. It's going everywhere. Mark Rose.
I think I got more views than Jordan Lee winning the tournament.
I think you did too, and that's probably why Jordan didn't want to be on the show today. I mean, really. No. Well, talk about that, Mark. I mean, you caught a 9 down there. You had a great. What's your thoughts on that pound minimum? Because Jacob just talked about it a little bit too. Talk about that.
Well, it was kind of it was fine for me. It actually helped me.
Yeah.
There's 2 things down there when you go in that system, the Kissimmee chain.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way that you can get down there and really find some big schools of fish. There's lots of 2 pound. They have a very good spawn every year down there, and there's just tons of 1.5 and 2 pounders in all the canals and in the grass and things like that. And you can find those big wads of them, and evidently a lot of those guys that made the finals, that's a lot of what they were on. They were weighing in. And I could see the score tracker every day, even when I wasn't out there. A lot of people weighing in 2.5, 2.6s. And so those other guys that they may have been on that quality, but that it didn't bother me because I wasn't getting a lot of bites every day. I think in the knockout round I got the most and had the most weight, but I was catching quality. And the day before in the knockout round, I weighed in like 58
Yeah, you
pounds,
did.
you know,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right.
more than what it took to win the tournament. So as you can expect, I was pretty excited going into that final day. It's just we had several days or 2 or 3 days there after those fronts where it was bluebird, slick, sunny.
Yeah.
And I think that third day it did something to my grass fish. Jordan was fishing
Hey,
a little
Mark,
more hard.
do you mind telling our listeners, did you fish in Toho or lock through the Kissimmee chain there?
No, I think Jacob Wheeler was the only one that I know of that final day that went to Kissimmee. I fished every bit of every second up in Toho, real close to the big Toho Marina.
Yeah, I thought I did that, and I know 25,000 for the 9-pounder. I mean, that kind of makes your day, I'm assuming now.
Yeah. I'll take that on every fish I catch. It'd be nice.
And you really, you're enjoying this. You're having fun, aren't you, Mark? This is really competitive. You're a competitor. This really plays to your game, doesn't it? You hope?
It is. It is. You know, I grew up on the Mississippi River, made a living at fishing for 8 or 9 years, and then ledge fishing came along, and it was different, and it was multifaceted, and I never could completely figure out, and I never will, and that's what I love about it. It kind of revived my career. I was able to win some tournaments, getting locked in on the electronics game, offshore, all that, and then now, you know, that's been going on for several years now, and now Major League Fishing has come along. Yeah, and that is it's a different format. It's fast-paced. It's exciting. It's different, and I like those types of things.
I know you do.
When fishing starts to get stale for me, I really appreciate things like this that come along, throwing in a heavy hitters or whatever, because it's new and exciting, and it keeps me interested and motivated and staying sharp and trying to be innovative and do things, you know, to help my career and to help me be a better angler. When it starts getting stale and I don't like it anymore, I'll retire. But until then, as long as these things keep coming along, man, I still got a lot of salt left. Even though there's some gray popping up there, I'm still excited about the sport.
Yeah, you didn't even scratch your head after you caught that big fish. I just knew you'd be scratching your head there, but you didn't. So
you always make fun of me taking my hat off and scratching my head when I'm speaking.
I love you, brother. You know I love you, brother. Okay, I mean, you just stay Mark Rose. That's all I want you to do. Hey, Mark, thank you for being with us, folks. Just go to my Facebook page, go to Mark's Facebook page. Just Google Mark Rose. And watch the dive bomber, as we'll start calling him from now on, okay? Mark, thank you, buddy. Tell your family hello. Hope to see you soon, okay?
Thank you, Larry. Take care, Ron. Good talking to you, Frank. You guys take care.
All right, buddy.
Take care.
Okay. All right, let me tell you about next week's show real quick before we get out of here, if I can do it without my readers on. But hopefully Ron's going to set it up. We'll have the American Crappie Trail Tournament winners from Kentucky Lake. We're going to talk to Matt Jensen of Rapala, or Rapala, whichever one you want to call that.
Rapala.
Dennis Baxter. He is a TVA fisheries biologist about a lot of things they're doing. Mark Copley will be talking next week about Strike King's new Instagram TV show. Hopefully, Ron is going to try to help set up a Bassmaster Elite Series rookie Buddy Gross, who fishing only his second event of the trail, won the recent DeWalt Bassmaster Elite on Lake Eufaula, won $100,000. Not bad. Or I'd say Ron will probably get 10% of that. So anyway, that's next week. Ron Wong, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Frank Barton, you did a great job. Double introduction. I hope I didn't tax your memory too much there, Frank. But
I managed it. Thank you.
You did. Head over to Frank's Place today. Opens at 8 o'clock through 3. Get that Father's Day gift. Also, don't forget Herb Parsons this morning at 8 o'clock. The kayak show out there, the TWRA is putting on about how to fish kayaks. All right, guys, it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And what else?
God bless
the USA.